Hey, today on Free Field Training, we're going to be taking a look at the Heroes Pride duty gear, their belt, and a bunch of their pouches. Sorry for the non-traditional YouTube angle, but this is the best way to be able to show off exactly what this looks like. There's a lot of fine details, so I'm going to be putting more inlay shots of the fine details in with each pouch. Heroes Pride sent a bunch of duty gear to me. This is their AirTech belt and a bunch of their AirTech pouches. I filled them with some random stuff, and I have some other stuff standing by to give you ideas of how they fit different items that you might want to put in them, kind of try to answer some of the questions you might have about them, and give you a close-up look at what these pouches all do and how the belt operates. So AirTech is a polymer, like faux leather, that is 30% lighter than leather, costs about the same as getting traditional leather duty gear, which it does an excellent job of mimicking. You would never know from looking at this from 12 inches away that it isn't leather unless you put your nose up to it and started smelling it and realize it doesn't smell like leather. It doesn't really smell like anything. It also doesn't wear like leather. I've tried scratching this and it seems to be color fast through the surface, which would be a huge boon if you're like me and stuck with basket weave duty gear, which does do normally do a very good job of hiding scratches and dents and nicks and stuff. It would probably do an even better job with this because it would kind of camouflage into the surface. This is their plain leather version, and as you can see, it looks very much like most other plain leather Sam Browne duty belt styles. Most of these pouches have slots through the back. I'll give you a good example here of one that has a slot through the back going two different directions. So here are the slots through the back. This is the magazine pouch. We're going to take a look at that first. It's got slots that will allow you to use it horizontally or vertically. The mag pouch slides through the belt either way, and then it has two sets of snaps in here. So it goes with the normal Glock 17, Glock 22, Glock 34, Glock 35, Beretta 92, such and such and such and such, full-size magazines. And then if you have a smaller magazine like this one, you can put it down to the second snap on the bottom, or you can have it on the first snap on the top, and that gives you multiple sizes where you don't have the mags slapping around inside. You just fold it down, and whichever snap it reaches to, that's the one used. So there's a little flexibility there with your magazine sizes. These are their belt keepers, and just like the belt itself, they appear to be black straight through. When you try to scratch the surface, you don't really get anything other than more black underneath the black surface. This is their baton pouch. I normally suggest people using the baton pouches also for flashlights if you're going to carry large flashlights on your belt. This is a ASP Triad AA, which is a pretty good, fairly low budget option from ASP that gives you lots of options for how you use it and how you charge it and such and such. This is just a cheapo Smith & Wesson or Schrade, depending on who's making these and selling them to the other one this month. Baton here, you can see that fits easily enough. It's a normal 16-inch friction lock baton, and here's a mod and knock. Your ASP batons are going to be the same size. A push button lock 21-inch baton fits just fine in there. I also tried them from ASP, and here's a Next Torch baton. This one's enormous, but you can sit the Next Torch batons are going to fit in there as well. The ASP baton is currently on my belt, or I'd show you how that fit inside. I don't know, I've got the broken ASP baton from way back in the day. We can slide that in there, and you can see that that would totally fit inside as well. This pouch only has a single side, so you have to use it straight up and down. There isn't any canting or putting it horizontally with this, but with no real retention other than the friction, you probably want it straight up and down anyway. Got another belt keeper next to it, and then this is a more interesting one in that this is the radio pouch. The radio pouch for this, if you're familiar with it, this is a HT1000 inside for size, but we'll pull this out so you can see a little better inside this puppy. Your radio pouch has a bungee retention, as most do. Snap closure. It's the faux leather exterior, and then this attaches on a 180-degree swivel. If you've dealt with police or security or fire or any type of public safety radio pouch before that slides on a belt, you've probably seen something similar to this in the past. You've got a circle with a line through kind of a half moon, and then another half moon on here, so you flip the pouch upside down, slide it on, and turn it. It's a 180-degree pouch. This is kind of helpful in being able to just take the radio on and off easily, although with this system, taking the radio out to charge it is pretty necessary because there's no way to charge through the bottom of this. There is also on this pouch a drainage hole on the bottom so that you're not ending up messing up your radio if you get water in there. It's not sitting in a puddle of water. All of your contacts at the bottom of radios. As you can tell with most of these radios, the contacts are at the bottom. On the back here I have their rubber glove pouch. Although there's another option for a rubber glove pouch that if I was going to use this in my day-to-day life, I would probably take over this, and we'll get to that in a second. This rubber glove pouch is a very thin material on the outside. These are all kind of fairly thick leather material. You can see there. This is a very thin leather material, probably because they know most people are going to put them on their back, and it's a double set rubber glove pouch. I can fit 2 sets of rubber gloves in each one of these, and it's still not thick enough to probably hurt my spine if I fell on it. But that's that. It just pulls open, drops down. You got plenty of glove sets right there. If I was to use rubber gloves on this belt, I would actually use their Narcan pouch. I don't have that attached here because I've only got so much room on the belt, but this is their Narcan pouch. It pops open with a snap. It's pretty much the size of, if you're familiar with the old pager pouches, now I'm showing my age. And it's horizontal carry only, but there's a whole bunch of space in here, and it's already medically marked. This would be a great thing if you like keeping your rubber gloves up front. You could slide this on your belt, keep them up front, probably keep 10, 12 pairs of preloaded rubber gloves slid in there, and you'd be all right on that front. Of course, it's also made to carry a container of Narcan on your belt, and it's pretty crush resistant. The edges here are formed to be pretty crush resistant, so you're not destroying it inside there. So that's the Narcan pouch. And then we've got a cat tourniquet pouch right here. You can see inside, again, crush resistant container. It is made only for vertical carry. You can see those are the only 2 slats there. So you have to rig something up if you want this horizontal on your belt. That might be a concern for some people. You want to know about that going into it. And the only ding I would give on this is that the cross is not painted on square to the way it's embossed on there. You can see it's embossed into the material, and then the cross is like a little far up. I would probably mark this better anyway. I'd go over it with red paint or something so people could easily see that this is a tourniquet pouch, especially since it's covered. People won't easily see the tourniquet. The plus side of this being covered is that when you put the tourniquet in there, it's not going to be rubbing all over your clothes and ripping your expensive uniform shirts and such open. Finally, we will look at our Mark III OC canister here. I've got the holster just for kind of show on here so you can see how it would fit on there, and that it will fit through Safariland UBL loops quite well for 2 1/4" holsters. It's pretty much spec'd the same way most of your leather Sam Browns are. This is the Mark III OC holder pouch, made very similarly to the other pouches. Same type of thing, snap, no Velcro. OC canister, at least this one from Fox, I think this is Fox brand, pops in and out pretty easily. It's not where you're going to pop this open and go to pull it out and not be able to get it out when you need to. Carries easily, snaps easily, and it again is only your vertical orientation. You can't put it on horizontally if that's the type of thing you like to do with your OC spray. The final pouch is your handcuff pouch. It does not fit a set of asp handcuffs, at least not very well, but it will fit either chain or hinged. Smith & Wesson, Peerless, and many other of the same style of handcuff that you see here. These are Smith & Wesson Model 100s. Fits just fine inside. It's crush resistant, but that doesn't matter much with the handcuffs, and the snap closure is pretty secure. All of them have, even though it doesn't really need it, the same type of stitching, the decorative stitching that goes around the outside edges of leather pouches. And I'll move all of this back a little bit really quick so you can see how the belt looks all on its own. So you can see how it looks all on its own, and that it'll meet your uniform standards if your uniforms require a Sam Browne belt. It has the same clip system that Sam Browne belts traditionally use, where we clip it onto the buckle, pop it in through the hole on the front, and slide our mounted keeper on there, and it looks for all the world like a leather belt with the same stitching, all the same holes. I know some polymer belts have a layer around the edges that tends to fray off and cut and ding and things like that. This doesn't have that, and although I haven't used this long term, I just got this in a couple of weeks ago, it doesn't appear as though it's going to have the same problems with nicking, fraying, and falling apart, although I'm sure I'll find someone to put this into service to know for sure. To kick it all off even further, this tends to be a little cheaper than the highest end Sam Browne belts. These run between $70 and $80 for the belt itself. It's definitely not the cheapest duty belt on there, but if you need a leather look belt to meet uniform standards, or you want something that looks for all the world like a very professional leather traditional style duty belt, I think this definitely fits the bill and is going to be one of your cheaper options to get into a traditional leather duty belt that doesn't look like cheaply made garbage. They also make off-duty belts, concealed carry type belts. They make under belts for this, and it comes in various finishes, and they say they're very UV stable, and also that you can sanitize these and they won't absorb blood and goo and all of that. So that's an interesting positive point that you don't normally get with leather belts. They're also telling me that these are completely maintenance free. I don't know how true that is. Since it's not leather, I can't imagine you can really take a leather polish to it. But if you come up with something that's as maintenance-free as polymer belts, but it don't have the fraying issue, I might be completely down for using one of these at work. I still don't like the traditional buckle look, but if it ends up looking like this and staying like this in basket weave, I might go that route. Until next week, you guys be safe and take care of each other. Hey, thanks for watching Free Field Training on YouTube. And while you're here, why don't you check out some of these other goofy videos that I've made? Or you could subscribe or maybe go over to Patreon and see how you get your name put on the videos like these fine folks over here. All the links are, of course, down in the description. We'll see you guys next time.